Hello, my name is Marty. I am with Shadow and Active Blavity. How are you two today?
Good.
Great.
Hey, Marty.
Awesome, awesome. I love the show. It was so fun. It was just enough suspense and just enough comedy to be like I think I said, Scandal meets a Clue. So I really liked it.
Mm,
Ooh.
love it.
So want to talk about Cordelia and her eccentric ways. Uzo, did you one thing I was really interested in was the bird watching. Do you actually like birds? Or did you get into it for the show?
I didn't know birds before the show. I knew they existed, but I didn't know much else. And I did learn through birding how relaxing an experience it is, which I think definitely Cordelia needs poured into her cup from time to time, which is why she loves it. Um, but now I'm curious about birds. When I see them, I'm wondering, what is that? Is that I'll make up some random name, to it, but I don't actually know any more about them than I did going in. Warblers, I know now, I guess. Yes, I know. The
Ampida.
Ampidas, exactly.
You're carrying around your own little sketchbook now
Yes.
to get you through things. Another part of the show I really liked was the message about not giving up. That really cute scene between Cordelia and her nephew, as far as talking about that, and that's like a centric theme of it. How do you think that kind of plays into it in the more sentimental side of the show?
Yeah, I think there's always something to dig. There's always still something to mine to just because it feels like you've hit hard ground doesn't mean that there isn't softer soil just beneath it, and to just keep trying to keep going. And I think that's a larger symbol for solving a case and for her and her work. You may think that you've hit a roadblock or there's nothing more to discover, but her persistence and insistence and getting to the bottom of it, something will eventually peek through that will help her to find maybe a new pathway to the answer.
Yeah, I think that's what Edwin shares with Cordelia is this don't give up mentality, because I mean there were plenty of times, especially early in the season, where Edwin is other detectives probably would give up after being dismissed by the greatest detective of them all, but he's persistent, and he eventually finds ways to be of service to Cordelia, and in the process becomes a better detective because of it.
And Randall, why do you think shows like that, especially where we have detectives and they have this partner that kind of reins them in? You have one who's really high strung or really intense, and then when it's not. Why does that work? Why is that such a great dynamic? Especially we see that with Cordelia and Edwin here.
God, that's a good question. I, I think we all have both of those sides in us, you know? We all have both of those sides in us. There's parts of us that are eager and just work off of instinct, and then there's that, the more thoughtful sides of us that are like, okay, wait, let's think this through, And I think that that pairing, it really kind of speaks to our human nature, in a lot of ways. Yeah, so it's automatically kind of enjoyable to watch, and to it gives us insight into ourselves, and not just as individuals, but in our own kind of relationships. These dynamics are very very human.
And you two are known to be a part of great ensemble cast shows, and this is just another one, added to it. Did your characters teach you how to read people a little bit better, especially not going into different roles where you have to work around a lot of different people? Do you have any new suspects sometimes, or any new quirks you look at people for?
No, no new suspects. But I think it definitely. I think the thing that I did learn in being around Cordelia with Cordelia is there are clues everywhere. If you pay attention, if you just listen, if you pay attention to what is happening around you, there are clues for good and for other. There's always clues right there to take in.
So, Susan, you have had a lot of experience, especially recently with the large ensemble cast from This Is Us. How is it like going back into that, working on The Residents?
It's fun. I mean, oh boy, there was a lot of us. There was 18 of us on this. Man.
13 were suspects, so.
Yeah. I mean, so I It's fun. I mean, the great thing is that I I got to be a part of two amazing casts with people that are fabulous on screen and off screen. I love a hanging out cast. I will say, I raise my hand the highest. If you're trying to go get a drink, I'm going with you. And this is that cast. You know what I mean? He laughing because it was him. You know, we did all types of things together, and we just really enjoy one another. And so when we got on set, it was like a natural rapport. I think we also enjoyed each other's talent. I think people are like fans of, you know, everybody. So when they're doing their thing, you're giving that energy of like, yeah, you know, kill that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want you to, you know, really let it cook. And like, I feel like this was that type of cast. And, you know, I'm very fortunate to go from one cast like that into another.
And can your role as the president's best friend, who pretty much had a job of doing nothing, but was always there for some reason?
He was a presidential advisor. He was a buffer between the president.
Right.
He was always there looking for something. What was that like, filling a role to where like you had of importance, but you really didn't know what the importance was, but you know, you had to be there.
Yeah, I mean, what was it like? It was, you know, for me, it was a blast to play the character. You know, he is clearly an abrasive young man. He, you know, to me, he was the president's sort of bulldog, or the bad cop. And he would happily take on all the, you know, stuff that to make the president look good. And so he, you know, he was he relished in the idea of being a jerk to people because it distracted them from, you know, and made the president look good. You know, so that was his sort of position.
He was very, very direct about wanting to get it over. He was like, let's just get it out.
Yeah, it was an inconvenience. The dead body in the White House was an inconvenience for him, which tells you a lot about his character.
Throughout the show and production, did you all play little games to where you try to figure out, you know, like, it was so-and-so in the library with the candlestick. Did you?
No, we played all types of other games. I'll tell you a fun thing that we did on set one day. And I think you were the person who started this. But I started a signal chat with all of us on it, okay? So we can like chat, and signals, you know, pretty private. And one day Ken discovered that it had a video chat option at the top of the chat. And we were all, because it was like a group scene, it's probably episode 8. All 18 of us were in that room, and he starts calling people on the video. And then we all get on the video with everybody calling the other person, and all you hear across the room is like, hey, how you doing? Hi, how you? And like 18 people pick up on this video chat and like start calling each other. And we would do fun stuff like that to like pass time. Yeah.
There's also like, I don't know, I feel like there was so many different games. We were always in a waiting room right next to the set that was being shot, especially towards the end when like, you know, Cordelia Cup has gathered everybody to, you know, let us know, you know, the big ending, right? So we were all always sitting like one room away from where they were shooting, and we were always messing around doing stupid stuff.
It's so true.
Just like, but I just can't remember any of the specifics at this point.
Oh, there was like, well, Edwina used to always try to catch people who were sleeping on her video.
Oh, that was good. Yeah,
that was one. And then there was like,
she would take videos of people sleeping.
We did Family Feud in the trailer.
Family Feud. We did Family Feud there, not on right there in that waiting in the holding room.
Okay.
And then we also I was taking portraits of everybody at one point.
I know Dan was doing like a sitcom video of us, like you know, like 80s sitcoms and 90s sitcoms, you know, the openings are like very, you know, posed, and like he did a composition of all of us coming in a room and like putting that together.
I mean, I don't know if this is, I forget what your question is at this point, but I'm just gonna let you know. We went out, we would go and sing karaoke and go to you know, fun restaurants and just hang out together. And it was we all bonded and had a really nice time working with each other. And I think that comes across on the screen and, you know, in the final production of the piece.